Good afternoon, Southwest Florida. Welcome to the Larry Timko Show on 1070 NBC Sports, Charlotte County Sports Authority, broadcasted live from our Howard's Pool World Studios, where they didn't invent pool service, they perfected it. It's Friday. That means high school football tonight. You can join myself and Jeff Briscoe at 7:15 for a big district game. Whoever wins this game will have possession of first place in the district. Charlotte Tarpons, North Fort Myers Red Knights. Pregame at 7:15, kickoff at 7:30. And then, of course, all weekend long, if you're looking for a good time, all you got to do is look at the Castle on Kings Highway, all lit up in blue. Bassani's Comedy Theater and Italian Steakhouse. On stage this weekend, it's the rock star of comedy, Pete George.
Yay! Woohoo!
Yay!
He didn't bring his guitar.
I didn't. I was going to.
Oh, were you?
But you know.
Did you play acoustic?
I do. That's what Italians shoot pool with, by the way.
Really?
An acoustic.
An acoustic. Right. Was that just off the fly?
Yeah,
off the cuff?
Yes.
How you doing, man? It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been like almost a year.
I was here a year ago.
Yeah.
It was the week after the hurricane.
That's right.
So I was on stage and the generator was going on and it was fun.
And stage lights were flickering.
That's right. Yeah. The mic was cutting out, but I still had a great time and everybody was just really great.
Nice. Are you in the Panhandle next weekend?
Thank God, no.
It seems like you're a week behind the hurricanes.
No, I'm back in L.A., where earthquakes.
Earthquakes. So. Have you ever been through an earthquake?
Just like little ones. Like one time I was in my car sitting at like a 7-Eleven, and like I thought the engine was running rough because my car literally was like bouncing around. I'm like, what the heck? And then somebody said, it's an earthquake. What?
Wow.
Weird.
It's like the only one I've never been through.
Yeah.
Only natural disaster.
Yeah, I haven't been through anything severe there. I mean, I've been there 18 years and hardly ever. And, it's like the last one was 94 and the city was...
Does everybody that does not live in California always say, oh, look out, man, you're due.
Well, totally. But it's like, right?
Armageddon.
Right. But no matter where you go, earthquakes, right?
Yeah.
Tornadoes,
hurricanes.
Snow. I mean, there's just always something.
I've been through my share of blizzards.
Totally. There's always, divorces.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, divorces. Good point.
That's a common natural disaster.
I like that pause before you laugh.
It took me a second.
Yeah.
Divorces. That's a good one.
Are you divorced?
Of course. That's why I laughed. That's why Andrew didn't laugh. He hasn't been through a divorce yet.
Yeah, I haven't made it there yet.
He hasn't made it there. He's been with the same woman for years.
12
years.
That's that long.
12.
You haven't gotten married. That's the secret.
He's young, too, so you've been with her since, what, 5th grade?
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was 18.
18?
No. Yeah, 18.
Wow.
Wow.
Since a teenager.
So you lost her
30.
virginity before I did. That's awesome.
No doubt. Pete's originally from Cleveland, right?
Yeah, Cleveland.
I remember from last year. That's right. And your Indians got swept out in the first round.
Man, who would have thought?
Everybody.
LeBron's gone.
I know. It's just been a rough year in Cleveland.
Browns.
At least the Browns I was just going to say the Browns look legit finally.
Remember my joke I had last time? I don't remember that. Because they used to have Bernie Kosar used to be the big quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And they had a candy bar named after him called the Bernie Bar. They actually made it in Pittsburgh, of all places. But I said I had one. It tasted pretty good, but it didn't pass too well.
Yeah.
That's a good joke.
That is a good joke.
Well, it would like, I'd get booed in Cleveland, and then I would say it in Pittsburgh and get cheered.
Yeah, exactly. You got to know your market.
That's true.
You tell those Big Ben jokes, though, in Cleveland, I bet you get tons of laughs.
Which ones?
The Big Ben Roethlisberger jokes. You have any of those?
No, I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. Because remember, he was like busted in his prime for like...
raping people?
Well, not, I wouldn't say raping, but sexual harassment.
Oh,
in
God.
bathrooms
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. He's had like 2 or 3 of those as charges against him. And he can't ride a motorcycle anymore. Remember, he wiped out his motorcycle.
Okay, now I remember. Yeah.
There's lots of Big Ben jokes you can make out of that.
Right, and Bernie got arrested DUI like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I feel bad for Bernie, though. Have you seen him lately? He
No.
can't even talk. The CTE really got to him bad.
He owns a really nice restaurant at the Hard Rock there.
Oh, does he?
But, it's crazy, right?
Mm.
Last time I was here, who was it? I won't say who it was, but someone related to the owner of the New England Patriots was at the bar during the show.
Oh, Eric.
Yes, remember that.
And was heckling me like drunk off her butt, you know?
Oh, my goodness.
That was,
I
it was
forgot
Kraft's
about that.
sister. No, wait, daughter-in-law or something?
Yeah.
Daughter-in-law.
Yeah, it was daughter-in-law.
And I remember I kind of went after her and I said a couple nasty things and she got like really mad. And I remember I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. You look deflated."
It would have been great if she was drunk enough to throw a Super Bowl ring at you.
Right.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
believe she went to walk towards the stage and everything that night.
Yeah.
She was a mess.
Yeah, she was.
Absolutely.
I don't know if she wasn't with her husband.
I was about to talk about Tom Brady's squeaky clean record, and then you bring up that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that in our camp.
You're not in Foxborough, lady.
Yeah,
right.
You don't own this town.
Right.
Well, maybe she does. They are from Boston, and half this town is from Massachusetts.
Man, I was in Green Bay years ago doing a show, and the other comic said, "Hey, there's a couple of women at the show here, and they want to meet you." Well, I was doing a black version of Stairway to Heaven, and the words were like, "There's a hoe that I know, and all her teeth are filled with gold," and her name was Tamika, and it was very funny, right? So after the show, this woman walks up to me, this black woman, and she's like, "Hey," and she smiles. All her teeth are gold, and she's wearing a big emblem on a necklace, and her name is Tamika.
Oh, no
I'm like, what are the chances? There's like no black people in Green Bay anyway. So anyway, it turns out her boyfriend was one of the players, and they invited us to a game, and it was amazing because it was like watching college football. It's crazy
That's
there.
all there is to do there.
And the stadium is in the middle of a neighborhood, so everybody rents out their front yard because it's frozen.
Yep.
And people will park there for $10.
Yep,
But it's just houses.
Yep, they do the same thing in Orchard Park in Buffalo because it's
cool.
like in a suburb.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
It's just-
Buffalo's not in Buffalo. It's
Right.
weird. You know?
Cleveland, when we'd go watch the Browns at the old stadium, like 90,000 seats
The rock
on
pile.
the lake, it'd be snowing. You would have to wear, you'd have a stack of newspaper under your feet so the cold wouldn't go through.
Yeah.
And we used to get this monster thermos, and it would be half hot orange Tang and half hot vodka.
Ooh, yuck.
Whoa.
We felt like astronauts, though.
I bet you did, man. Anything to stay warm in
It was
Cleveland back
awesome.
in those days, though.
I know.
I remember if your car was like before 1978, they'd light that thing on fire to keep warm.
That's very true.
You know?
And the Indians, what was it in the 80s? God, they were so bad. If they actually won a game, you could tell because they'd be sitting in their uniform on a curb outside of Dairy Queen.
But they were so bad in the 80s, but they were so good in the 90s. It was so weird.
And the 90s was awesome.
Yeah, they were a powerhouse in the 90s.
So this is crazy. So literally a month ago, I met my buddy in L.A. He works at a little film production office in Burbank. So I went and met him, and then he takes me in the office, and I meet the owner. And we're talking about a couple things, and I said, I'm from Cleveland. He goes, oh, my partner, he's not here today. He's always here, but he's from Cleveland. He played for the Indians. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, Kenny Lofton. Kenny Lofton was huge.
Yeah.
And sure enough, there was a big 3D plaque on the wall, Kenny Lofton, Cleveland Indians, and pictures of him and his family. And he's like, yeah, come on in another day. He said, I'll introduce you. We'll hang out. But I was like, so Kenny Lofton's a TV movie producer now.
I had no idea that. Wow.
That's pretty cool.
But it was real, sports documentaries, right? Is that what he's leading to? Or is he's doing everything?
Just all kinds of stuff, yeah.
Wow, I had no idea Kenny Lofton was into that stuff.
Dramas, comedies.
Wow. You see, because, these athletes, they get typecasted, once they retire, they think, okay, they're going to get into broadcasting or analysts. They don't think they have, like Bernie Williams is a classic guitar player.
Yeah.
Really good, too.
Yeah.
It shocked me. I mean, not as good as you, but.
I was waiting for that.
Got to massage the ego a little bit.
True.
I
heard him say pretty good.
Right.
Pretty good, yeah.
No, but it's funny.
Kinda.
But you're being from Cleveland and everything with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You're the comedy rock star. Is that why you took that genre?
People just started introducing me as that.
Really?
So because people are like, oh, is that what you called yourself? Well, no, that's what people. I just started to get introduced as that. And I thought that's kind of a cool angle.
Is it because of the guitar? Is that why, or is it just
probably?
You think
so?
Well, my band back in the day, we were the ones to get the petition drive to get the Rock Hall there.
Really?
Yeah, we got the whole thing going, and then I was there for opening day. And my uncle was the rep for MCA Records for the entire Midwest out of Cleveland.
Wow.
So I went with him, and it was there must have been 200-300 radio stations having little tents set up all the way down the street from around the world. And I couldn't believe the people that knew him.
If I had an uncle that worked for a record company, I'd be plotting my rock and roll stardom since I was 8 years old.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah. He broke Rush into this country.
Oh, my God. That's awesome.
With WMMS, 1974. I have a picture on my phone of him with Rush in 74.
Wow.
He was there with the Police when they got their gold album.
Jesus.
Yeah, I used to go to concerts. In fact, when I was in college, 2 days a week, I'd go down to the MCA office and I'd work for him 4 hours a day. I'd call 80 stations and get their rotation. I would send out 80 packets of new albums. Yeah.
You were in PR.
I got paid, too.
Yeah, you're in PR.
Totally. And he said,
wow.
any albums you want, just take them. And then he'd say, I'd go to concerts and everything.
But he'd snub you when the awards came around, right? Did you ever get to go to, the Billboard Awards or Academy Awards, anything like that?
Nah, because it was Cleveland.
Okay.
He didn't go either. So.
Oh, really?
No.
Even.
I mean, he
Wow.
went to L.A. a lot to
the
Universal.
Grammys.
I don't think he went to any of those.
Really?
So. Yeah.
I've always that's like on my bucket list.
That'd be cool.
Just once, I want to just be there and heckle somebody on the red carpet. Just once.
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, it was a really great time though. Just going to all those shows and everything, and the fun I had. And I mean, I met Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley in '78 when I was a kid.
God.
And they weren't wearing makeup. This is before they revealed themselves.
Yep. I got a story like that too.
Crazy.
My mom was working at a hotel, and they were staying at the hotel back in this was 79, 80. They came down without their makeup on. My mom got their autographs for it and everything. It was crazy. But it was before the makeup came off.
Yeah.
Wild.
Well, I met Gene 4 years ago at this fundraiser, and I walk up and I go, "Hey, I met you in '78."
Yeah.
It was a bunch of people he was with.
What's scary though is what I know about Kiss now. It makes me wonder about my mom.
Actually, I know your mom. I'd be worrying about your mom.
Right? No doubt. Let's take our first break. We'll be back with more The Comedy Rock Star. Yes. All right, we'll be back on 1070 NBC Sports. Welcome back to the Larry Timko Show on 1070 NBC Sports, Charlotte County Sports Authority, broadcasted live from our Howard's Pool World Studios with comedian, rock star Pete George in studio. Pete, most known for being naked with Tim Robbins on the big screen.
Well, kind of.
Anyway.
It made me union.
Yeah, that's right. You got your SAG card, right?
Well, that's why they call it SAG.
Okay.
Hey,
Ba-dum-bump.
yeah, I was naked. It was crazy because the prison was closed that we were filming in, and he walked in and the water was ice cold. And he just said to the production, he said, "These guys are working for nothing." He said, "You get this water heated and then I'll be back." And he just walked off set. And about 30 minutes later, somehow they had a tank hooked up and it was hot water.
See, you're lucky because
Nice.
nowadays they just CGI in the water.
That's true, right?
That's
So
all right.
odd.
We'll have the water later.
Right. It's crazy, though. It was awesome, though.
What an experience, though, just to be on the set with all those legends, Morgan Freeman. And, wow.
It was amazing. And you know what? You know the scene where, what's his name? The Clancy Brown, the head of the guards, shot Tommy, the young guy, at night?
Yeah, the sniper shot.
One of my buddies was the stand-in for the warden, and he was off set watching this. And after he shot him, all the shell casings from the 30-30 pop out, and my buddy just walked up and picked him up.
That was going to be my next question.
Nice.
For you. Did you know the movie was going to be such a huge cult classic when you were filming it?
They didn't know it was going to be a cult classic, but they were actually talking Academy Awards because of the quality of the script. And you figure, Frank Darabont comes from the world of horror films, right? He wrote Friday the 13th. People don't know that, but by having a horror writer write a non-horror film gave it that
it's a Stephen
edge.
King,
but it's not horror, right? But it gave it that edge. But yeah, they were talking. It was going to be. They were thinking Oscars at the time, but I mean, Forrest Gump beat it out that year, which is crazy because Shawshank now is the number one film of all time on IMDb. So
and it's on every week on some
every
channel,
week. Right? Always.
Forrest Gump deserves to be up there too, though.
Yeah,
it is. That was
it's
an
got its
awesome
own
film.
special place in its own right.
But I think
They shouldn't be competing.
I think I would have turned into a klepto on that set. You know what I mean? I'd be wiping everything. Oh, there's the carved out Bible, mine. There's the poster, mine.
Right.
Souvenirs.
Souvenir galore, man.
I actually have. They had the metal stamped lunch trays from the mess hall scene. I have a tray and a tin cup.
Oh,
that somebody got for me.
Nice.
And then this is really cool. So the last day of filming, there was only a couple of extras. So one of the production assistants took, if you know what a call sheet is, right? It's the big sheet. And it's got the weather, the hotel, the location, all the stars, it's got everything for the day. He did some artwork and did the top of a prison with barbed wire, and it said Rita Hayworth in the Shawshank Redemption. And he had those silk screened onto white T-shirts front and back. And I have one. So I could probably eBay that for a lot.
No doubt. That was the original title of the movie, right? Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank.
Yeah, it was a novella.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
In fact, the original leads were supposed to be, I think, Tom Cruise and someone else. I'm it wouldn't have been the same film at all.
No. Tim Robbins played it perfectly.
He did.
And that's what he was at the height of his career. He just come off that movie, The Players, which was also another great flick.
That's right.
Too.
Right. It was Yeah, I went to the 20th anniversary at the Academy in L.A. a couple years ago, and that was amazing because they were all there.
Yeah.
All the actors. There was 1,000 of the public, and they showed the film. It was just so much fun.
No.
So, and then next year is the